Hey, yo, Mac, ladies and gentlemen, C5, wing time. Yeah. Zone. Let me see your shoulders work. I mean, I don't know what y'all came here to do, but if you ain't got a lighter, what you smoking for? We hot.
Though, where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go. Wow, get the though. I don't bluff, bro. Aiming at your head like a buffalo. You a roughneck, I'm a cutthroat. You a tough guy. That's enough jokes. Then the sun died. The night is young though. The diamond still shine. In a rough hole. What the
Hello and welcome back to the second special edition of Apache Sports. We're your hosts, Sabrina Layson,
Colin Gaja,
and Johanna Lim. On Wednesday, we gave you a recap of the fall and winter sports seasons, but we're not done just yet.
we can't forget about our other 8 wonderful teams who just finished their seasons.
It's time for Spring
Sporting
Sports.
Let's talk about a sport who has a phenomenal season for the past decade.
Yeah, with an overall record of 11-3 and a league record of 4-2, boys varsity golf really made an impact this year, marking the 11th year of making Pacific League champs.
Not to mention, they certainly made Apache history, scoring their lowest score ever recorded of their team.
64 is a phenomenal score and quite the challenge to achieve. Warren and David gave us a little insight of all about it.
We realized that our competition also shot one of their lowest scores, and so that put us at mixed feelings between happy and unsatisfied.
The camaraderie that we have with our team helped us to cultivate those low scores, because when you're on the course and you're not really playing well, you have to remember that your team needs you and you just can't give up.
However, the boys were unable to make it past the first round of CIF, only 17 strokes away from their second round.
Nonetheless, Joshua Kwan, Justin Chen, and Warren Atoyo made it to CIF individuals, which is quite a tremendous achievement.
Despite 2 strokes away from moving on to the second round, at least the boys are set for making it further next year.
Okay, golf is a pretty cool individual sport, but you guys want to hear something interesting?
Sure.
Okay, so if badminton is such a good team, then why isn't it called Goodminton?
Well, I didn't really think of that ever.
Well, but speaking of a badminton team, let's take another look at a successful season by our Apaches. Our co-ed badminton team kicked off the season going head to head straight against the Redlands Senior High School and easily won with a score of 19-2.
Victories over early opponents set the tone for the rest of the season. Our Apaches drive did not let up, dominating in league with a record of 24-0.
Without a doubt, we can't thank our extremely well-rounded players such as Melody Yang for all the wins.
Yeah, everyone on the team is so talented and have all the skill sets to rule the court.
Let's also not forget that our Apaches even traveled up to NorCal this year to compete against Mission San Jose High School and finish on top with a close score of 8-7.
Although our badminton team was undefeated during league, they were unfortunately lost to Diamond Bar during the CF Southern Section opening division
We were very
championship.
committed to all these practices because we know that eventually we would go to the CIFs.
We also really emphasize the point that even though we play our games individually, we are really just one big team.
Well, great job to our badminton team. We can't wait to see what other accomplishments they have to bring us next year. Well, you set all the net extremely high for our volleyball team. Well, let's see what they have.
Well, they certainly have gone through quite a rough year.
They really did. Our boys unfortunately started off the season with the passing of head coach Ayosha. And despite this hardship, our boys powered through and ended with a league score of 10-2 and overall score of 26-5. Our boys went far this season, making it second round to CIF.
Oh, excuse me about that. Well, our boys aren't exactly the tallest, but they certainly have some of the highest jumps, especially Jared Park. A true core of
All
the
the
volleyball team.
underclassmen, I hope next season goes as well, if not better, than this season. All of them are really talented. There is improvement to be made, but they have a really good shot at going further in CIF next year.
Let's not forget Brian Liu and Sebas Andreo. Their consistent teamwork helped control the court through the toughest of times.
Yeah, the boys ended the season strong, leaving players on the team just wondering what's going to happen next year.
Well, not to be outdone by volleyball, but boys tennis has caused quite a racket recently.
Definitely. With a 21-2 overall score, boys tennis charged their way through an outstanding season, besting Burbank, Glendale, and CV.
led by captains Matthew Fang and June Nakamine. They won league 13-0 without a loss in sight. With decisive plays and hours upon hours of experience, our Apaches were able to advance into the CIF Open Division quarterfinals, where their streak was unfortunately cut short by a close 10-8 loss to Mariacosta.
So against Miracosta, we played them twice, our 2 losses of the season. First time we lost 9-9 and 77-81 on games. Our singles, we won 4 matches, lost 5 matches. And for our doubles, we won 5 matches and lost 4 matches. So overall, the first time was really tight and it just came down to a few points here and there.
We gotta give it up to the team for winning the Beckham tournament this year. They won first out of 16 teams, including Irvine, Beckham, and even the great Palos Verdes.
Well, an amazing team again by our boys tennis team this year. I'm sure they'll make even a greater season next year.
Okay, I think that's enough about the teams on land. How about we give a little love to the swimmers on our campus? Even after being moved down to Division 3, our Apaches showed no mercy to the competition.
Usually our only competition is CV, but our girls lost to Temple City with a score of 87-84. And if any of our girls had placed a step higher in their races, we would have definitely come out on top.
Well, the same can be said for our boys about the match against CV. If the boys ran their PRs, they would have definitely bested their long-standing rivals. But unfortunately, they lost with a score of 102-68.
Okay, but let's not get too sad. In the end, our Apaches still placed second place in Pacific League with an overall record of 12-2. In addition, our Apaches varsity and JV both placed first in Pacific League relays for the first time ever. What an amazing accomplishment for these Apaches.
I am excited for next year's team, even though there are a lot of seniors who are going to be leaving. I know there are also going to be a lot of freshmen and other swimmers who are going to come on and make the team a lot better and faster and a more cohesive community.
What a great job to our aquatic Apaches. But you know, 400s, 200s, relays, these all seem really similar to track and field.
I agree. I think that our track and field team often gets really overlooked.
Well, that's right. Our team excelled this year, winning league in all 4 levels.
They did well in each event, but especially dominated in long jumps and relays.
Speaking of relays, freshman Saray Yarborough competed in varsity level 4x100 and is one of the fastest freshman girls we have ever seen in a while.
We also have to highlight Anthony Carranza as anchor for the boys varsity 4x400 relay. He was key in winning the races.
Well, he also recently committed to Mid-American Nazarene University to continue his track career. Let's go to an exclusive interview with Anthony.
It's kind of cool because like in my middle school years, it's kind of like, oh, like I see college football and stuff like that. These 4 years of me running, me running by myself, me putting in that extra work, just kind of committed to what I was doing as in running. I feel accomplished. I was able to get myself to the next level of like collegiate sports and stuff like that.
But we can't forget about the field events. Without them, our track team could not do as well as they did. Huge shout out to thrower Daniel Vargas and triple jumper Kira Graves for all their great wins.
Moving on from track to softball, it was a great season for the Lady Apaches this year. Our girls hit the ground running with an 8-game winning streak to start off the season, coming to boast a fantastic 11-3 league score and an overall record of 23-6.
That was definitely enough for them to secure second place, just 3 games behind CV. However, this did not slow down the Lady Apaches as they muscled their way into the quarterfinals of CIF Division 4 playoffs.
Yeah, and we can't talk about the season without mentioning their monstrous offense. They batted a 421 as a team and knocked out 216 runs over the season.
Avery Wong, Helena Simpson, and Deja Westbrook are just a few key offensive players for the team, but really the whole lineup in general was a threat at the plate.
Their bats were on fire for what felt like the whole season, and if you need proof, may I cite the 21-4 win on Monrovia.
You're right there, Colin. It really was the whole team producing throughout this long and successful season. I mean, the Super Girls were so close and tight-knit to each other, you could just feel and see the energy carried out onto the field. All it took was just one glance at the dugout at any point in the game, and you knew that they really were a family.
Definitely. We even reached out to the team on who they thought deserved some recognition, and each of them told us the same thing. Nobody, that it was just a team effort.
Well, now let's switch all over across the field to our baseball team. For over the past 2 years, the Apaches had held a combined record of an incredible 49 wins to merely 5 losses.
The word loss was not in the vocabulary of our baseball team for the first 15 games of the season. In the first of the 2-game series against Muir, behind Jeffrey Castillo's 3 runs, our boys beat them 12-2.
But the next game, they suffered their first loss, 5-4, mainly due to Chris Wilson's 3 earned runs.
However, those 3 runs do not define Wilson's season. He pitched an outstanding 5 1/3 shutout innings of baseball against CV, completing the sweep against our rival team for the first time since the last league championship in 2011.
They had tons of confidence going to the playoffs, cruising through the first round 6-2, but were faced by a challenge in the next round against El Sagano.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's even more heartbreaking to lose 3-2 after 11 innings.
But the playoff loss definitely shouldn't take away from the highlight of their league championship or how well they did this season. Jacob Lopez talks about what we can expect from next year.
Just play against the ball. Don't worry about the opponent, and the game will take care of itself. We could expect just the same thing. Hopefully, go further in CIF, and hopefully bring a Pacific League title to Arcadia and a CIF championship.
Well, this whole year was really filled with so many amazing teams and even more memorable games.
Our teams won 10 out of 16 potential Pacific League championships, and so many more teams made it to CIF.
We would like to congratulate each and every one of our sports teams for trying their best and getting so far in each of their respective seasons.
We can't believe how well our sports teams do every year and can't wait to see what's in store for them in the incoming years.
With only 7 school days left, let's bring together our school spirit and for one last time, wish us well and stay strong with Apache pride.
For the last time reporting on sports, this has been Sabrina Layson.
This is Colin Gaja
And Johanna Lim,
signing out.